That's it.
Yep. And we are live, coming to you from the dirtiest South, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Greeted right now, while he still has power, Gary Cardcutter. How's it going tonight, buddy?
Good, brother. Good. Thanks for having me on. I see you have officially scraped the bottom of the barrel now that I've got the invite. So if you can hear my voice, you definitely can get on here if he has me on here.
I love everyone that comes. I like to get the corners of all the community that I can. Not scraping the barrel, but just you're an OG. I love the OGs of the YouTube community. You were right in there with the stories last week, answering the questions with Dave and them. I room with them. It's always, you get a few beers in them, and I just sit back and laugh because I just listen to the stories, and they'll pull up old videos. And I've been around. This is my 6th year. So it's not like I'm a young buck, but
right.
Y'all have been around. I'm not gonna say way more because we're still growing. We're still growing. But
yeah, it's definitely different times now versus what it was. I think I've been on 11 years or so.
All right.
It's just different, man. In this digital age and internet age, I mean, a year is a long time, So
right.
You've seen so many people come and go and hobbies come and go. And heck, I think I've changed my PC about 30 times through that span. Yeah, it's been cool, man.
Yeah, evolving is part of the hobby. You get bored with one thing. Oh, not an alert, is it?
No, it's this jabroni. He can wait.
Well, you might as well answer it.
No. Yeah, beat it, nerd. I'm on a live event.
There you go. Yeah, because wait a minute, you most likely you got the room for all of y'all at the National, right?
Last year, yes.
Last year, you didn't do it this year.
Well, no, because last year,
what's it
called? There was a spot directly across the convention. Man, it was the craziest thing. It was a 2-story hotel room.
Now I've heard about it.
And I actually called them a couple days ago to book it because you could book it a year out.
Right.
And yeah, they were already booked, man. Someone got me. Someone got it before I could get it.
Oh, no. You let too many people see it last year.
I know.
Y'all let too many people in. And this is Doc that's going to be joining us. I was telling you before he went on. His name's Joe. He actually rides with Canadian Cards Mike.
Okay.
Chris from Missouri.
I definitely know Chris. Yeah. I met him at last year's National, and it was like a long lost cousin or something, man. I love that guy. If you don't like Chris from Missouri, like you might want to check yourself out.
Yeah,
he's so hard not to like.
I was am I supposed to? You can be if you want, Mike.
No.
I can send you the link.
No, you're not supposed to be on this one. No.
But yeah, last year at the get together, my back was hurting so bad. I didn't really talk to many people. I showed up, ate, and left. We got Lou Rock, Chris. Tell me what was that? Yeah, so with last year, was that the first time in how many years for you, Garrett, of getting back to the National? I know that was kind of the story leading in for you. And
it was. I think it was like 4 years before that, and it was a Chicago then as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
But shoot, I don't know what it was before that. It was like 6 or 7 years before. It was the last time it was in Baltimore.
Oh shit!
And
Yeah.
man, that was like Chicago's cool because everything's right on top of each other.
Right.
It doesn't matter what hotel you're at. Like you could go down to the lobby and go across the street and eat with your buddy in his lobby. You know, it's not a big deal. But as far as location, man, I loved Baltimore. Just with the Inner Harbor right there, I had Camden Yards. Like I think it was like a block away. Man, I really enjoyed that.
He showed everybody, Mike, you're calling. He said, "All right, get out of here. See you later."
I'm styling and profiling, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got to one of the ones in Baltimore, which, you know, I told you before we were going on, my dad chose that week for our family vacation. Every year, my niece and nephew growing up, I was there. The uncle that melted it, if they needed anything, they called me. So all they would have to do is, you go on Uncle Scott, and I was going to that instead of the show, but not anymore. So since I went, and a few years ago, I got to really meet people and rub elbows with some of the greats of the YouTube world. Most of all that are on here now with me, no turning back. The show is definitely secondary to hanging out. It's like a vacation with like-minded people.
I would definitely agree. So I might have misheard you. Was last year your first time
No. This year is like my 7th, 8th year. I lost count. Like so the last time I was in Cleveland was 17 or 18. What is this, an even year? So it's always an even year out. Chicago was odd. So yeah, so my first year was 17.
So have you been a part of the YouTube community for that whole, all those times? Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm small now, and imagine, like, I always tell this story, and you can believe it or not, you're very good friends with this man. Mike, the second year I went was the first year he put hey, we're meeting this. No, the second time it was at Cleveland. We're meeting at the such and such hotel, and he put out the spreadsheet, and I put my name on the spreadsheet, and he knew. I mean, he recognized who I was at the show, and that's something I'll never forget. As a small, just starting out, a guy you're watching, you know, I thought that was incredible. So that was my first thing. That was my first time, and then and I met those Eric and Blue Jacket just briefly. You know, it was, but to me, I'll never forget. It was a kind of a welcoming party for me into the world. And then the next time we were in Chicago, by then me and Mike and Ed got to be pretty good friends internet wise, and we all started hanging out a lot at that show.
Yeah, I think the whole YouTube aspect and collecting, and then kind of, if you're watching this, you're definitely part of what I'm talking about. It's just so unique, and I don't think it can be replicated. You know, it's so wild. You know, I watch your videos, I comment on your videos, you watch my videos, you comment on my videos. I'd say 80% of the people, you know, I don't talk to on the phone or text or anything. And then you show up to the show and it's like, hey, how's it been, man? Right. You know, it's not weird or awkward, or, you know, you're not like blind dating or anything like that.
Right.
And it's just so crazy, man. Like, you would think, you know, I mean, you wouldn't think because you've done it so many times, but you would think like you might be nervous or it might be a little awkward at first. But I mean, it's like right out of the gates, 1,000 miles an hour, you know?
It's not even like, that's not even, now it's the last few years. It's also been the people that participate in our chats have been showing up. I don't know if you ever met James Gilliam. Did you go to Strongville?
I did not. No.
Oh, well, he went with some of the guys there. He is, I don't know if you know Bobbles and Ball Cards, Brady, but He's good friends with him, and he doesn't have a channel, but man, a lot of us know who he is. He's a great guy. He participates in a lot of channels. Robert with Prestige Collectibles knows everybody, the guy that does the Japanese stuff, so it's grown to not just the viewers and even the Instagram guys, and I love it. And you get to just talk and get ideas and look at cards, which we all love. I mean, last year was a big show and tell that Thursday night. It was just awesome. And he is, Mike. Let's see. Let me catch up here, Mike. I'm glad that meant. Yeah, it did, Mike. That's thanks, Scott. Thanks so much.
You probably shouldn't have put that one up.
No, that's okay. They can't take my monetization from me. I'm not monetized. I can do what I want. Yeah, Dave. It's like old high school buddies meeting up. Great. James is great. Yeah, Chris. James is just him and his partner. If y'all had never met her, she's awesome too. They're a great couple. I don't think they're going to be at the National this year. I think Strongville was his National, and that's a thing. I think a lot of people, me and in some other chats and stuff, we've been talking about it. I mean, do you think? I know it's going to be packed, so it's going to be a lot of people there. But with so many destination shows, are you having that thought that more people have more selection of not going to the National and passing that by to go to other shows?
Not even a little bit. I mean, there's only one National.
Right. I feel the same way. But I'm waiting to see what 3 weeks is the first Fanatic show in Manhattan. I noticed when I looked at their page, all their signers were in coat and tie,
Yeah.
Trying to be high end.
I think the Fanatics events, I think they're calling it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be for more of the Pelly boys, like Pelican Case boys, and there's nothing wrong with that,
right?
At all. I can't speak. Help me out. I just spaced out. Oh man, hang on. What
you haven't given me?
There you go. Whatnot. The Whatnot.
Whatnot.
Yeah, the Whatnot crowd.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of.
Well, vintage. like Card Collector 2, Ryan will be king of that show. He's pretty one of the big boys at the National.
Yeah,
but that'll be his grounds there. He'll be, and I feel the same way. But I wouldn't mind going to one just to see what it is.
Like I don't think you're going to see like Mangini, Blue Jacket, and Chris from Missouri strolling down.
No,
New York going to the Fanatics event.
Right. And it's not I would rather go to Strongville than a Fanatic show. So if I had to choose, that's where I would go. I'd rather go to Philly. I would rather go to Chantilly. Did you ever get to go to a Chantilly show?
I did. That's a CSA, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I went to one. Man, it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and it's just getting bigger. And the same people do the Philly show. And I guess the same people that are running that are now the ones that are running the National now, too, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're correct.
And then you got Dallas. I would like to go out to Burbank. I love to go to Toronto one time. That's my plan for the fall. It looks like it's going to be not this year, though. I would love to see that Mangini at the Fanatic show.
What month was Strongsville?
It wasn't June, was it? Like the first week?
Was it? Because I've been talking to like Moynihan, Canadian Cards, She Blinded Me Refractors, Triple Crown, those back pages, all those dudes, and I'm like, man, what we have at the National every year is so special. And everyone says, oh, we're here for the friends. The cards is a bonus. And it's like, why would we not want to try to do that, twice a year? like at a 6-month mark. For the life of me, I don't have an answer. I think it's kind of silly that we don't. And granted, it wouldn't be as big of a scope as the National is, but it's like if you haven't been to a Dallas card show, those things are huge, man. They're really big.
That's what I heard. Chris said it was April 17th.
Okay.
Baseball, it was April. Strongsville is April. So, yeah, Dallas is a huge show. What's that, like 4-6 times a year, 5 times a year?
Yeah, I think it's like 6 times a year.
Every other week,
every other month. Yeah, it feels like it's every other week, but
well, because they were doing like 2 shows in that area. When I was living in Iowa, I was like, holy crap! And then now Des Moines, Iowa has a big show twice a year. They were trying to get one bigger in Wisconsin, and that kind of didn't pan out as well. It's just so many shows, but a lot of those people in the Midwest could just do the loop, the card games.
Like you've been in the game for a while, man. It's just nice to be able to say the phrase, there's too many shows.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
real shows, not like
you would be like, man, I would love just to have a hotel show with 20 tables. Like, for the longest, there was no shows.
Yeah.
And now it's, a surplus, but I'd rather have this problem than none.
Yeah. And I don't know, because that was like a few years back. I did a video of, is there too much shows? Are we going to have a burnout? How much money can one, can you keep churning to go to these things, especially destination shows? The mayor, I'm coming next year. Please clean the red carpet. Yeah. So it's just, these shows that are so spread, such big shows. That was my concern, was, are we going to burn ourselves out on these huge shows? But obviously, and I've heard Mike and other people with saying the same stuff, it just hasn't happened. Thank goodness. And it looks like the support is there. There's enough people in all these regions, and they're just far enough apart where even if people are not making a destination show, like flying in, they're driving an hour or 2 to get there. So it's working, and I love it.
Well, they even have like the Collecticon, and they say it's for all sports, but I've been to a couple of them now, and it's like 10% sports cards. And I think Collecticon's like quarterly.
Okay.
And those things are massive, man. Like the amount of people that come for, it's I would say 80% Pokemon.
Yeah, we have a production, a play group down here. When you see them, it's at least 50% non-sport.
Yeah, it's like, so I think just the hobby in general, if people are going to eat, like they're going to keep feeding these card shows,
Yeah, and keep on. Because I collect and have the channel, people think I know something about all the cards, and I barely know anything about my cards. But and they'll come to me with the Pokemon. I'm like, hey, I submit them for other people for grading. I make them write down everything. If they don't write down everything for me to put in for grading, it's not getting graded. So I've no more than I want to. And I just that's some tough stuff, that Pokemon. I think you got rid of some here.
I did. I got rid of a ton, actually, and laid a grip down on some debt, which made all the difference in the world,
right,
in my household finances. And it actually allowed me, I don't know if I've ever like said this like out, but like I do this full time now.
Yeah.
I don't have a job. I sell stuff. I have a ridiculous stack of mail there that needs to go out if this hurricane would not be so rude and interrupt me. It's daily, just putting on eBay and packaging up. So it's great, man. But yeah, all that was from Pokemon cards. I just figure, I guess kind of my logic behind it is there's, I would say the generation before me, that they're all about, the Mantles and all that super vintage stuff. And that's ridiculously cool. And then I think my group is more like the Schmitz, the Cal Ripkins, the Eddie Murrays, so on and so forth in that group. And I just feel like there's less and less people watching baseball. Like every year, it seems like it's a little less and it's a little less. And it seems to be getting more and more and more expensive to go to games.
The viewership this year is up percentage-wise.
Is it really?
Yeah. Just the teams that are always going to have lower viewership or lower attendance, or just that the Miamis, the Rays, Oakland, and the bad teams. But if you watch me and my dad tomorrow do our baseball talk, there's 16 teams right now with a losing record. So it's a tough watch. I watch the Mets every day. Right now, they're a game under 500.
Okay.
So, it's a tough watch. Baseball is not right now. There's a lot of really good baseball players, but then again, I think the sport is watered down with too many teams. And they're about to add two more.
And I guess maybe part of what I'm seeing might be a regional thing. I mean, I'm in Texas and football's king here.
Right.
I mean, if you're on a high school team, there's varsity, there's junior varsity, there's freshman team, and then the neighboring team or the neighboring town next to me, they have 2 JV teams.
That's the way it was in Iowa. When I was living in Iowa, there'll be 300 students in the school, and even the girls played linebacker. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Like, if you have 2 arms and 2 legs, you can make the junior varsity team in that same town for baseball.
Right.
So I guess that's kind of what I'm seeing. And my logic behind all that was, I don't know, I just think in the future, all those generation that's under me, I think they're going to be like the Pokemon crowd. And I think that's going to be
bigger. I think there's a lot to that. But when you still, I watch games, and it's still a very family-oriented sport at the park. I mean, that's why it's called the Yard, and to me, me and my dad talked about it today, the next sport behind that for family looks to be the WNBA. You watch a WNBA game right now, and it's loaded with kids. That game's still affordable to go.
That that has definitely become a guilty pleasure of mine as a WNBA.
Me too.
I think I watch it. I'm not kidding you. I watch it daily. When we started, I was finishing watching the Chicago Sky game.
Yeah.
Huge fan of Angel Reese. I was watching her with LSU. She's just so damn spicy, man. She's so sassy.
I like her.
She broke the all-time double-double streak today. Not for a rookie, for anybody.
Well, she's the best Razor Ramon outside of Razor Ramon. Somebody's got to be the bad guy, and everybody loves the bad guy. I know you love your wrestling. I got to throw it in there for you.
I really enjoyed the WNBA, man. It's fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, and no lack of drama there too to watch it, and and it's still a team sport in women's basketball. Hey Chico, that's right, Lou Rock. So I love the team sport of it. I see got a good crowd here tonight. I don't have my my stuff up. Hope everybody's hitting that like button and joining in on the chat. We got some superstars, if I don't mind stealing a term from next week's guest, Scott Reindeer Studio. Some superstars in here tonight. So welcome to my new subscribers. I've been getting some here lately. I've been nice little bump, and I appreciate you. The national bump, as we like to call it, in viewership. So let's get into a little national talk. Baseball Collector, if you're still in here, yes, I got the Skechers last year with the no laces. So I'm an old guy too. I watched that video the other night with him, and that 70s card show. What's up, Hitman? We got Mangini now. Man, loads in here. So when it comes to, I know you're not just a autograph collector, but let's talk about that for a minute, because that's where my head is at a lot right now. Especially right now on my radar is getting Gary Carter playing days cards auto, which you can't do anymore. You got to get them already.
Right.
Yeah, tough find. It can be, but there's plenty out there. He wasn't afraid to auto. I mean, are you under the thought of like a lot of these like lower end, the small, medium end, that if they're raw, do you have any drawback, or do you make sure you know who you're getting and you are relatively familiar with that auto?
I'd say like I'm an autograph collector, like by far and away from anything else. Right. I actually don't even know if I own a slabbed card that's not autographed.
Oh, really?
Wow. If I do, it's like a couple of Pokemon cards back there. And so I just know what autographs look like. You know, how you could talk to, the Mikes and the Lou Rocks and the Manginis and all them dudes about this vintage card or that vintage card. And they'll say, oh, there was this variant or that variant. And like, that's their specialty.
Right.
And I guess not trying to be braggadocious, but like, that's my specialty is autographs.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm asking.
And so, no, I'll buy whatever. Matter of fact, I prefer to buy them raw and then get them authenticated, because then it kind of bakes in your value,
Right. Yeah, because I'm not scared. Like most of my Mets guys, the ones I want to get, I'm pretty familiar. Like I'm really familiar, of course, with Gary Carter. But some like Howie Johnson and David Wright, I know what to look for. I bought a David Wright baseball 2 or 3 years ago that wasn't authenticated. I got authenticated later, no problems, and I got it at a way cheaper price because of that. But when you go to a show like this, and I've heard people say, including your buddy over here, and I'm sure you echo it, is if it's a lower, like if you're paying $25, somebody really faking an auto to make $25, so risk their whole livelihood on
$25. Like no one's forging a Howard Johnson autograph.
Right. I'm the only one buying them, so.
There's how many are you short from that player run of Gary Carter?
A ton. I got just a handful. It's something. So 2 summers ago, Victor, the rookie card specialist, turned me onto a guy that was selling a Gary Carter super collection. So he was like, you might want to pick up some. Well, I did pick up some. I picked up the whole collection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he had already taken out the autos and stuff, but that's fine. I have all the player runs, like anything in his playing days. I have blank backs, blank fronts, error cards where they left off a T and the TM on the back. I got all of these things. So now I said, well, now what do I do? Oh, I'll go after in person or through the mail, whatever, autos. And I thought it'd be easier. I'd rather get them in person. It makes it more fun. I can go on eBay and pick up all the ones I want, right? I like to kind of find them in person. And
there's a booth, and I know Moynihan and I have both talked about it on multiple chats through the past couple of years. There's a booth at the National, and this dude has binders and binders of signed cards by sport. And I would be shocked if he didn't have every Gary Carter that you wanted.
Nice.
And he's not that expensive. He's not the cheapest. I mean, you're not getting bargain basement pricing or anything.
Right.
I would probably say they'd probably be $20 to $25 if I had to guess. But yeah, you got to find us here in a couple of weeks, and Mike or I can show you where that's at for sure. Because I know I'll be there. I know that guy's going to be taking a ton of my money this year for sure.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that. If I did, I might have just walked on by, not realizing. Because stuff has to catch my eye pretty quick, and then I start making notes because I'm there Wednesday through Tuesday, but I won't go Tuesday. I don't have y'all's connections. I'll be there Wednesday night through Sunday, and I plan on staying a little later on Sunday because the women's soccer is going to be there Sunday.
Okay.
Doing autographs, I believe. Like I definitely going to get me a ham on Sunday. Have you looked through the autograph list at all?
Yeah, quite a bit. My problem, let me back it up. So my eBay business, if you will, it's all about autographs. So I go to a show like this where there's, a who's who of sport, and I kind of start thinking like, what can I get signed to make a buck, And the thing is, it's just TriStar prices at the National are so ridiculous.
They've gone up like $30 what
and
percent?
then
Like this, I noticed like Michael Vick went from 79 to 109 this year.
Well, and it's like
That's
you can find these same guys at the Chantilly show, probably once a year, if not twice a year.
Right.
And they're going to be, if TriStar's selling them for 150, they'll be like 79 at Chantilly, and it's just insane.
Perfect
it's
point.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, do I get stuff signed at the National? Yes, like I'm getting Pujols this year, but I would rather take that money and go to a booth like the one I just told you about and buy stuff there.
I might get one. Last year I wanted Rondé Barber because I've never seen him at a show for UVA Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm a UVA collector, so I had a UVA mini helmet for him to sign. But again, my back was so hurt, I just had to pass it up, and I'm pissed because he's not there this year. But Vic is, and he's gone up $30, and I don't know if I want to pay when I can get the whole female soccer team at like less than $50 a person.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about the WNBA. I just feel like there's also been a large uptick in female sports viewership lately in all sports. Our female, we have a basketball team. We have a female soccer team here in Houston, and they sell out almost every single game, and our men's team doesn't. So, going back to the Vic thing, I'd rather have the female gold medal soccer team than Mike Vick. That's for sure.
Right. That because I bought a Mia hand because I've done only one through the mail in my whole entire life, and I really want to start doing it. I just got to man up and write that first letter to get it done. I always get a little shy and bashful, even though I'll never see the person and face to face. It's a dumb, but I bought this Mia ham for that reason.
Nice.
Now it's going to fit really, really good for that. So I'm really happy to have that, and I might get an 8x10 to get two. I love it. I love 8x10 in the backpack here. But so that's what I try to do. And yes, I hang my 8x10s up. I know it's not good, but
who's the hockey player?
Pavel Bure, the Russian Rocket. That was when that one that sells all the old boxes and cards. They used to do that every hour or every couple hours. They would do a huge sale at the National, and that was one of them. And I love Pavel Bure. When I was, it's with the Panthers. I would have rather him with when he was playing with the Canucks. But I'll take it.
What a nickname! That's kind of like this guy right here. We call him the Red Rocket.
Yeah, right.
But maybe that's something different. I don't know.
That's a little different. Russian Rocket is because he was fast. Nothing was falling out of his pants.
Well, same.
And he was Russian.
I know you talked about the Gary Carter. You
Uh-huh.
talked about Mia Hamm. Is there anything specifically you're looking for this year's show?
Well, I always, when I go to any show, my priority is vintage because I won't buy vintage online. I only buy it in person because I have to get such a low level, lower end vintage with my price point.
Right.
I want to see where the creases are. I like to see, I'm a borders guy. I'm more than I am a corners guy. Um, so if to me, corners should be a little frayed and a little loved. I don't want that crease going across the face. I don't mind some paper loss on the back as long as the front is nice and crisp.
Is there anyone in particular you're looking for in
Uh,
vintage?
in vintage, I have 3, and don't ask me the years because I got them somewhere else before. And I'll finish the Topps base run of Roberto Clemente.
Oh wow.
And then of his base. I like a dummy, I always veer off to like the Venezuela card or something else instead of just getting the base Topps. I'll go and buy. I'll be like squirrel and go get something else. And I literally Lou Rock 2 years ago, him and Don pointed me out to the Lou Rock collectors section, which in AC. And it was funny, one of the guys running it is from Virginia, and I played high school baseball. He was a coach at a neighboring high school, and I played high school baseball against him. I was like, oh, okay. So we got to talking, but yeah, so that is on my list. Roy Campanella, I like to get so things have to have a meaning for me to buy, sure. Right? I just don't buy stuff because I don't do sets and stuff like that. That just doesn't. I've never been a set guy. I always I've been a player collector without realizing I was a player collector. I didn't know it was a definition. But I love catchers. I grew up catching. That's Johnny Bench was my original favorite player, and Gary Carter. But now I love Pete Alonso. I did play first base as well. He's my current day guy, but I love Roy Campanella's story. It's awesome. Well, not so awesome as saddening. Another player that got screwed because the social dynamics of our country at the time.
Right. Yeah.
And I love that. The same way with Clemente. My reason I love Clemente is my dad just talks about him and Duke Snider endlessly.
The old Duke.
I think the Roberto biography everybody has on their shelf at their house. And then the other, I picked up at my last card show, I picked up my first Gowdy Mickey Cochrane card. So I filled in, as a collector too, I feel like I should have cards from certain sets, right, to represent. I have a couple of T206s, I have a play ball. I have cards that, hey, I have one of this set. I think for me, I feel like I should have one. And being a Mets fan, my fandom for the Mets only goes back to the beginning of the 60s. So I have to, my dad does on my show last year, we picked a team and talked about it. And before we pick a team, we picked the Tigers. And I started reading about the Tigers and I started learning about Mickey Cochrane. Something just drew me to him. And then I went to the Hall of Fame with Mike last year, and I'm getting chills right now. I go up. The first thing I see is first game that Gary Carter ever played with the Mets. He hit the game-winning home run for the Mets walk-off. That video was playing when we walked into a room. I almost started crying. Then I walked out, and the next display is Mickey Cochrane's catching equipment. And I'm like, holy crap, I caught in the 70s. And I couldn't imagine you wearing that equipment, right? I mean, we barely had pieces of plastic on our shins. And what they were wearing, I don't know how they played. And you looking at that, and it was just amazing learning about him. And the card I have is an actual coach manager card, but it talks about him catching on the back. You know how the Gaudi has like a little paragraph, and I just thought it was cool. And I always kind of keep an eye out for him. Because when I go to local shows, I carry $200. That's all I give myself.
I mean, that's pretty awesome, Scott. You were talking about all that, and like I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, what does this dude collect? And it seems like you have no rules, man.
No rules.
Like, meaning, like I collect autographs, and that's what I want to do. And I not only do I collect autographs, but I want to collect these type of autographs. Or, we have friends that are like, oh, I'm Phillies, or I'm Hall of Fame, or I'm this. And man, you are just all over the place. And I personally think that's freaking awesome, man.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'll tell you why. Because when I grew up, everybody stopped collecting. At least I thought they did. And if I've told this story 1,000 times here, then I found out everybody did the same thing I did. We all collected in our closets. No, it was we didn't want to be not cool. So nobody knew we were buying cards and collecting cards, and the ladies wouldn't thought that was cool if they knew I was picking up baseball cards. You're going to come back to my place to see my cards.
When did that happen? When did that happen?
And now I don't care, as you can tell.
Ladies don't like baseball cards?
They might. I don't know. I never touched them.
That sausage fest that is the National every year, I think that answers that question.
Yeah. Well, I said it last year, and I'll run off this topic. Last year at the National, I saw families and females and young girls. But what I saw with the families was not the mom standing in the back and the kids or the dad was shopping. Mom was in between them with shoulder to shoulder shopping. And I thought that was awesome. And, I don't know what's happened to some of these, the women in the hobby. We used to have, I haven't seen many videos of these ladies anymore. I don't know where they went, but they had a table last year.
I think they're going to have one again this year.
Also, because the women and young girls flock to that table. And it's good, just like in sports, you want to find somebody that looks like you on the field, right? So somebody to look up to imitate. It's the same way in that. It's no different. And Sue should have a card every year in Topps Big League as one of the leading people that in our hobby. Sue's is awesome.
Yeah.
No doubt. She's been around for a long time. I remember seeing her back in the Beckett days, growing in this hobby and just awesome. But yeah, I for me, I didn't know there was rules until I started watching YouTube. I was never a YouTube guy. The reason I found it is because I was playing MLB The Show and I was trying to get tips on how to hit. And since they do cards in the show, that was kind of intermingled in some of the videos. And I was like, these guys have no idea what they're talking about. And then I started looking at videos and found Mike and then Eric and then, so on and so on. And then I got challenged at work to start a channel, and that's what I did. And I put my money where my mouth is. So
I have no idea how I came about starting a channel. I definitely remember like the guy that influenced me at the time. Like I was like, oh man, I want to get to know that guy. Uh-huh. And his name was Chris Fralin. His username was Sictifer 2024. And then that was also like Michael Wilkie and all those dudes way back in the day. And I remember my first video, I didn't even put it on YouTube. I bought a box of Allen and Ginter to break. And the video was an hour and 15 minutes because I didn't know like speed. I just broke a hobby box at the speed I normally would. And I was like, yeah, I can't upload this. This is going to take too damn long, man. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Garrett? How are you, sir?
Good, brother. Doing
Yeah,
well.
that's true, Mr. Fishbite.
What's up, Big Scott 35?
What is happening, Mikey? Have a good weekend at the farm with the fam?
It was overall pretty solid solid few days in the countryside of northeastern Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Very hectic at times too. You end up cramming 10, 11 people, including,
What's up,
group
Dave?
of 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds running around. It can be hectic.
Oh, you love
as well.
it. Those kids love you, and you love them. So don't
They
even
do. That's why I garnered a significant proportion of time. So
yeah,
it was hectic, but it was fun.
right. That's awesome, man.
Kids
Nothing
are
better
extra
than-
wound up when they get to do stuff they don't usually get to do. Like
Yeah, Uncle
know.
Mike. Let's go out, eat a lot of sugar, and run around. That's
wasn't even they didn't even need the sugar. It's getting excited about riding on side by sides and loading
I get
freaking
excited for that.
grass and tractors and watching dogs jumping in the lake and swimming around, all kinds of stuff. Fireworks, what else? All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, country stuff.
There you go. Wasn't rabbit season, was it?
No, but I saw some rabbits running around.
Little inside joke there, but yeah. So that's what I'd be, Garrett. I'm kind of looking for is that, and also if I see some cards that maybe I can't find or I haven't seen, modern. I do have a Mount Rushmore players that I do collect: David Wright, Pete Alonso, Johnny Bench, Ripken, Griffey, Thomas. That's if I see something, my first purchase ever at a national was a Johnny Bench rookie card.
Oh, nice.
So that same year I picked up a Ken Griffey auto because I didn't have one, and they're not hard to find. It's just hard to find one that you can afford. Griffey's autos are kind of expensive.
Have you ever met Mike Shane?
Yes.
Jared, man, you want to talk about some Johnny Bench cards?
Yeah, last year we talked quite a bit. He wanted to know, and I felt my back was hurting. I can't wait to sit there and talk to him this year to just hear, because he wanted to know more and more about my Gary Carter, because I have a Gary Carter registry. I've got every registry you can have. That's if anybody ever watches me go off on PSA, that's the reason why, because I feel like they've taken the registry from me. I was having so much fun with it, but it's hard for me to take a $1 card and send it in for $22 to get it graded just to be in the registry. So it's not where I could have every registry 100% completed right now if I wanted to. I have the cards, but until they do something about that, I can't do any. I'm not going to do that. So Battery says I collect Phillies, but Myco bought them all.
Oops, my bad.
17 days, that's right. So you said, Garrett, you're going to get Pujols' auto when you're there. Are you just looking for good deals for autographs when you're there for your, I dare say the term, flipping on your eBay, or
yeah, I don't not dare say that. I don't have a problem. If you have a problem with me selling cards, that's
I hate when people get all uptight over
more of a you problem than a me problem.
Exactly.
Maybe you need to look into that.
Yeah, 'cause that's how I get cards, is for people selling them.
I don't think all selling cards is flipping cards either, too. I don't know. I guess everyone has different.
Myco
me,
LLC there.
But to me, like, flipping is more like, okay, I buy something dirt cheap and sell it instantly, not kind of just investing in your bit. Like, there's a difference. I don't know. Flipping almost seems like someone who's not even doing it as a business. I don't know.
Like, I can tell you, Scott, like, I'm getting Pujols, and I already bought a 2001 Retrofractor.
I was gonna say, if Garrett's getting an autograph of one of the premium guys, he's getting it on something really nice.
I got off my wallet and I bought.
Can I ask a question real quick on that?
Sure.
do you put the eraser on there, or do you have him sign it and you blow on it real fast so it doesn't?
I don't blow on anything there, Scott.
I mean, does it because it takes the streak?
I'm a baby powder guy.
Okay, you don't do the eraser.
No, I don't. I mean, there's
Okay.
1,000 ways to get ink to stick on a card. It's just really
Right.
whatever your preference is.
Okay, that's why I want to. I'm not. I guess I've only seen one way. I'm ignorant in that because I don't have the knowledge to know. That's why I have you on tonight. I mentioned last week I have you on for this reason.
You got to use a high quality marker too. Like that matters.
Yeah.
Getting it done in person, that's one of the advantages, is kind of getting it done the way you want it, hopefully. If you're doing it through the mail, you're at their mercy, you know.
That's 100%, man. Like, I plan on getting 3 inscriptions with pull holes. And you were talking about flipping and like kind of where my game plan is. With that particular card, once it's done, there's no way in heck I could freaking resell it for what I have into it. There's just no way. But part of the reason I like autographs is I feel like it's an art form.
Right.
You know, you get the right image, the right variant of card with the right color ink, and man, it just looks incredible to me. You know, and that's a card I'll get done, slabbed, and put in my eBay store, and you would have to be an idiot to buy it from me because the price is going to be ridiculous.
Right.
But it's going to be there and for people to see, you know. So
do you make cards like Mike and other people do to have signed?
talking like
Mike,
custom cards?
Yeah, well, Mike does that to the lookalikes to the Perez Steels.
Oh, no, I don't do that. I think Moynihan does that because he loves Dick Perez and his artwork
Dick
and all
Perez,
that.
yeah.
And he
Moynihan loves Dick.
big fan of Dick. And Mr. Perez quit making those. And so, yeah, he just started kind of making,
because
he's counterfeits, but
Perez is going to be at the show this year again, right?
Yeah, he has
They kind of snuck him in last year, but
yeah, he has like an exclusive viewing to some documentary.
Yes, I remember
that he's doing, and it was like free to sign up, and then I think they sold out of tickets like within the day.
Yeah. I hope Mike got to see that as much as Mike did.
And then I think last week his people put out that there's like a special set that Dick Perez is putting out just for this show.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like I think there's I'm wanting to say like 10 or 15 cards in the set. They're all Hall of Famers. And then I think there's 100 sets. And then Moynihan's probably going to kick my ass. I think I'm going to get this wrong, but they made 10 Cobbs. I think it's Ty Cobb. And so there's one Cobb in every 10 sets. So that's going to be like the chase, I guess.
The chase. All right. That's interesting to hear. That's the first time I've heard that part. So that's very interesting.
I figure there's more than 100 people out there that collect.
Look at you bringing some quality news to this channel.
There he is. Yeah, it's Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson. Is he going to be shoeless or wearing Skechers?
He wearing Skechers.
Joe Jackson wearing Skechers. And each one will be a different color variant. Oh shit! Gotta have some fun, yeah. Because that's interesting. Too bad you can't get those signed unless you go to Field of Dreams, maybe with Kirk Costner or something.
Yeah, I don't know if the checklist is out for that or not. I mean, it would be cool if there was some living dudes in that set, like Nolan Ryan or some stuff.
I wonder, can you only get that set if you went to the if you're going to viewing for the?
No, I think if you go to his website, even right now, I think because I bought it the day it came out.
Oh, it's up for sale.
Yeah, it was like $50 for the set. I think it was like something like that. But I just figured there's more than 100 Diamond King collectors out there. Like I'd be able to get my money back, easy peasy on that. What's up, Orlando?
What's going on, Orlando? So most of the packs will be shoe less.
Yeah, funny guy.
Yeah.
I wonder when the baseball collector comedy hour is coming. I feel like that'll be an episode at some point. The question is it going to be on Bench Clear or is it going to be on Baseball Collector?
Or a third party to be named later.
Or perhaps on Let's Talk Road to the National with Big Scott 35. I feel like it's been a tradition with Baseball Collector on here. I mean,
he thought he was going to be on tonight. He's
got to find his way on at some point.
Yeah, well, maybe I can get main stage, for Sunday night after everybody leaves, and let me have the main stage at the show.
Look at you, man, with the professional watermark up there in the right corner with the cool. It's cool to collect. Didn't they just come out with that like last week?
If you know how to thieve stuff on the internet, you can get anything you want.
Man of the people.
This is my third year of doing this. I'm my road to the national. So yeah, I accidentally got that by trying to steal another picture from them, and I accidentally got that instead. I'm like, oh, that works better. So,
man, I remember, I don't know who it was, Mike, maybe man. It was like 2 years ago, someone, and it wasn't the National, started that Road to the National thing. And that term has caught on like crazy, man. Like everyone says it now. And even the Nationals picked it up as like their kind of unofficial logo or saying or whatever.
Some say I should have a free pass to the show.
Who's that? You say that?
No, actually, I haven't. Dustin, my dad collector or whatever card collector, said it in a video. I was like, hey, the first thing we agree on, I take it. So
she get free tickets.
I should get a free ticket. Then it'll make me pay $150 a day to park. But anyway, any closing words on this year, Garrett, before anything special going in? So while Mike is here, I want to just shout out Thursday night it's going to be at the American Legion Hall. Pizza night is what people are calling it now.
Well, I've heard one person term that, but he, Wesker Griffin, the community, he kind of gets things rolling and starts trends. So I think it is going to be known as the Baseball Collector Pizza Party, Community Pizza Party, but I don't know if that's been made official yet.
And do not bring your alcoholic beverages. It's been stressed by Mike himself. We will get tossed, and I kind of thought that. I've been to events at different ones in around where I live. So just bring your cash. There'll be a cash bar, or hopefully we can bring our own water. I'd hope that would be okay. I don't know. If not, I can drink right out. Just give me a hose. I'll be, a little kid again, drinking out of the hose. Then Friday night, what's the name of the hotel, or is it a hotel or a motel that we're doing the roof party? I
just got out of almost a 4-hour drive, so I don't remember anything. But I do know it's on a rooftop bar in downtown Cleveland.
On a motel, and bring something to kill the rats.
You can find details, I'm sure, maybe on Filmington's channel, perhaps Silverjackifies. I don't know. I gotta get some of this information down. I got a couple more weeks to promote
party to this. It doesn't even know where it's at.
They just use Mike O's name to bring the people in, man. He's not.
Oh yeah, Pizza Hut rooftop. I'm for that Canadian cards. I'm here for that. Bring your own. Tom says bring your own Parmesan cheese. I'm good for that too.
No, I seriously would say I would encourage anyone out there. Like if you're just kind of lurking, you're still just kind of watching. You haven't even really gotten super involved in the community, but it's one of those things you're thinking about. Like, come out to some of these get-togethers and hang out. I mean, you're gonna have dozens upon dozens of people who both have made videos for a long time. Some people just in the short term. People who just watch, comment, stuff like that. Like, it's a really cool get-together, and when people like Baseball Collector, go out in his videos and stress, like, everyone's welcome and invite, like...
100%.
absolutely the way it is, and it's awesome. And like you might even think like, hey, I don't really know. It doesn't even matter. Like you might actually end up recognizing people later on and not realizing that's who you were talking to, that you've watched their videos.
Right.
Because everyone is there. They're sports fans. They enjoy sports, different sports and such. And obviously everyone's collecting cards. So, I mean, there's cards to talk about. There's life to talk about. And worst case scenario, you eat some pizza and have some fun.
Right. So those 2 nights going on, there's going to be an after card show about 10 miles, or not even a couple of miles down the street. 2 different trade nights every night. And
those are the official card shows and trade nights, because that'll be breaking out all over the place. Yeah,
but please, if you can hear my voice, either both Thursday and Friday, come out either or both. Everyone is welcome. Love to shake hands, man hugs, take pictures. I loaded up on different things to make videos with. Hopefully I can be the man on the street for some people that are not coming. What's Moynihan charging for autos? Inscriptions have to get together. I don't know if it's like last year.
It doesn't matter. Maybe. Whatever he is charging, do not pay sticker price.
That's bargain. Bargain.
Scott, you need to do one of these at the gathering, man.
I am planning. I have things. And I hope. I stopped drinking a long time ago, so I should be in my right mind as long as I'm healthy.
Yeah, if you could set up shop and just wave people in to.
Yeah, so I'm hoping. Cool. I'm hoping to do something. And last year I was on Friday night with Carlos, so I might do live with him Friday night from Mike's rooftop. So I hope it's we don't get any strippers in the background of that. We'll be okay.
You ain't monetized anyway. You go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that type of party. Okay. So we got Stukes in. But everyone's invited. Love this hour. Thank you everyone for taking the time to come in. I know everybody want to see Garrett's loving face.
It's real nice.
I know he's got it covered now about beard, which is lovely after all those years of clean shaven. So can't wait to see y'all. 2 weeks I will be off, and that's what I'm counting. And a little after that, we'll be at the show.
So close, boys. So close.
Yeah. So until then, like, share, tell a friend, leave some messages down below, and we'll see ya.
Peace.